Why FIFA added 16 extra teams to the World Cup? The FIFA World Cup just got a lot bigger. Not one team bigger, not two teams bigger, 16 teams bigger. That's right, the biggest sporting event on Earth is expanding from 32 teams to 48 teams. And if you're wondering why FIFA suddenly decided to invite almost an entire extra tournament's worth of countries, you're not alone. Some fans love it, some fans hate it, and some people think it's all about money. But the real reason is a lot more interesting than that, because this one decision could completely change the future of football. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why FIFA added 16 extra teams and whether it was actually a good idea. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about what changed. For over 20 years, the World Cup featured 32 teams. It was simple. 8 groups, 4 teams in each group. The top 2 advanced. Then FIFA announced that the 2026 World Cup would feature 48 teams. Not 36, not 40, 48. That's half again as many teams as before. And immediately, people started asking the same question. Why? Because honestly, the old format seemed to work just fine. Here's where it gets interesting. FIFA looked at the numbers and noticed something. Football had become global, really global. Countries from every continent were improving, but the World Cup spots weren't growing at the same pace. Imagine a concert hall built for 32 people. Now imagine 100 people want tickets. At some point, you either make the hall bigger or leave a lot of people outside. FIFA chose to make the hall bigger, and that's where reason number 1 comes in. More countries get a chance. For many nations, qualifying for the World Cup felt almost impossible, especially in Africa, Asia, and North America. You could have an excellent team and still miss out. Meanwhile, some regions had a much easier path. In theory, the World Cup is supposed to represent the entire football world. In practice, many countries barely had a realistic chance of getting there. FIFA wanted more representation, more flags, more fan bases, more countries dreaming about qualification. Honestly, that's hard to argue against. Now let's talk about the second reason. Money. Yep, we can't ignore it. The World Cup is one of the biggest sporting events on the planet. More teams means more matches. More matches means more tickets. More tickets means more TV viewers. More TV viewers means more sponsorship money. You know the type. Every giant organization eventually discovers the magical power of adding more games. This sounds simple. It isn't. Because while FIFA says expansion helps football grow, it also creates a massive financial opportunity. Both things can be true at the same time, and that's exactly. But there's another reason that people often overlook. The rise of football outside traditional powerhouses. Years ago, the strongest teams mostly came from Europe and South America. Today, things look different. Countries that rarely made headlines are becoming serious competitors. Teams from Africa are going deeper into tournaments. Asian nations are improving. North American football is growing rapidly. The gap isn't gone, but it's smaller than it used to be. FIFA believes more countries deserve a shot on the biggest stage, and recent tournaments have given them evidence. Then comes the biggest criticism. Will the World Cup become weaker? A lot of fans think so. Their argument is simple. If you add more teams, some of those teams won't be very strong. Fair point. But here's the counter-argument. People said similar things when the World Cup expanded before, and many of those weak countries eventually became competitive. Nobody starts as a football giant. Every powerhouse was once an underdog. Even the strongest teams had to start somewhere. So the real question isn't whether new teams are weaker today. It's whether giving them opportunities makes them stronger tomorrow. And honestly, that's a fascinating debate. Now let's talk about what this means for fans. More countries qualify. More stories emerge. More upsets become possible. More people around the world care about the tournament. Because when your country is involved, everything feels different. Suddenly, every match matters. Suddenly, millions of new fans are watching. That's exactly what FIFA wants. A bigger World Cup, a bigger audience, a bigger global event, and perhaps a bigger football future. So why did FIFA add 16 extra teams? Because football has grown beyond the limits of the old format. And partly because more countries now believe they belong on football's biggest stage. Whether you love the change or hate it, one thing is certain. The World Cup of the future will look very different from the World Cup of the past. And that brings us back to the original question. Was expanding to 48 teams a brilliant idea that will grow the game forever, or the moment FIFA made the tournament too big?